Absolutely, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
This is gonna be a special first time intro where people can hear us during the start streaming soon thing.
Oh, they can hear us?
Yeah, I think they can hear us right now, but it doesn't
Oh
matter
no.
because this is the streaming soon. So the people in the who's watching the playback, they're just gonna
Well,
skip through
they
this
can hear
part.
us talk about. They can't hear us talk about how stupid they are and how fucking dumb they are. The audience, the people who are listening to this, are stupid as hell. But they can't hear that right now, so it
It's
doesn't even
yeah,
matter.
it's like the what was it, the MF Doom Danger Mouse album. It's like, why did you buy this album? I don't know why you buy this album. You're stupid.
Yeah, you're dumb for. You're fucking stupid for fucking joining this stream. If you didn't want to get made fun of by the god, by the gods, me and Mason.
I am not a I am not a god. I never said that.
I did.
Oh man, that's awesome. All right, so let me make sure I got everything spick and span. We got 2 more minutes.
We got 2 more minutes till we start. Hell yeah.
Yeah, officially, we're in this
Officially.
streaming, we're in the now streaming era of the
Right.
live stream. So we got two
Where
more
they can
minutes.
hear us talk about our actual opinions on Israel and Palestine, our full actual opinions on Israel Palestine.
They're
Now,
not
Mason, you
opinions.
were talking about how you like Israel a lot, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh
yeah.
man, I can't.
You can't get enough of Israel.
Can't get enough.
It's
Absolutely.
really crazy because I remember I was saying, I'm like, it's really fucked up what they're doing over there, and you're just like, oh well, they should have done it earlier.
I just opened up
Like,
the.
come
I
on, man,
just
that's
saved
my
the thumbnail, and I thought it's gonna be hilarious. See people seeing like Warner Brothers Discovery. What's all these mergers? And they have just like two characters from Chimera Island like facing down, and they're like, "Oh yeah, what's your opinion on Palestine or
Yeah, it's like,
Israel?"
yeah. Remember when you're like Israel's like cool as hell or whatever you said?
Mm, absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay, 1 more minute. I'm still in the start streaming stage.
because the worst thing you could be, it's better to be anti-Muslim than it is to be anti-Semitic. Apparently, that's
Aren't
how this
like
works.
Yeah, like aren't like Muslims also Semitic people as well? Like not Middle Eastern Muslim, like Semitic people as well, because like in the same area.
Well, they all come from. It's really why this thing is so fucking weird because they all live in the same place and come from the same place. It's just that they split up with different religions. Like in 1000 BC or 1080 or whatever. It was some weird day where they were just like, all right, we're not friends anymore. They started bombing each other for like centuries.
It's
So
kind of reminds me of like that one meme I saw about with Europeans, like where it's like
yeah,
we Europeans that live like 5 miles away from each other. They're like, this person is subhuman. Get this freak away from me.
yeah, no, seriously, that shit is no joke over it. Israel and Palestine is the like more the more media covered version of being from the Bronx and Queens. Like that rivalry is Israel and Palestine, but in New York. you know, so
And
it's a bad thing going over there. I mean,
all
I hope
right.
people stop dying, but fuck it.
Insane. But yeah, welcome to this thing that I have no idea what to call it. Um,
What's up?
yeah,
Tell
so
us.
I was in a call. I was in a chat with my friend Matt, and
Hi.
I wanted to do something new on this channel, talking about topical things or what's on my mind. And while I draw the next update of whatever series I'm working on. So I was talking to Matt, and I was asking, well, yo, what's on your mind? What can we talk about that not a lot of people are talking about that much?
Because that's how Mason talks to me. He's like, Matt, what's on your mind, dude?
Yeah, what's
Like,
on
what are
like
you
every time I
thinking about
wake
right
up,
now?
I'm like, I wonder what other people are thinking.
Yeah, I wonder how Matt is doing right now. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, you asked me about like what was going on today or whatever, and if I wanted to call, and I was like, yeah, sure. And we're talking about two things: video games and the Warner Bros. And Paramount merger. Which, if you guys don't know about that, uh, a year ago, I think to the date, a year ago, Warner Bros. And this other huge conglomerate company that who gives a fuck called Discovery merged, and Warner Bros. Became Warner Bros. Discovery, and they started canceling all the shows they could cancel. Only because they have to. When you do mergers or whatever, you take on debt for both companies and shit. Now, I'm not a financial wizard or anything like that, so maybe I might be talking out of my ass. But from what I understand, that you take on a lot of debts, and then like not to mention how much it costs to literally like do the merger. So Warner Bros. Discovery lost so much fucking money that they decided to get rid of all their content. So if you go on HBO Max, which is just Max now for some reason, you're not going to see your favorite shows because it's probably gone now. And it goes into that whole debate about the purpose of streaming. If like everything's online and can be deleted, then like why don't we have physical media again or whatever? Anyway, though,
Yeah.
Warner Bros. Have been canceling stuff. I think the most recent thing they canceled was that Issa Rae show. I forget the name of it. It was about rappers or whatever. It was like Atlanta, but for like black women.
You sure were.
I
I
forget.
think you were
Yeah,
talking to me about this before, right?
yeah, yeah. Because I remember we were talking about that Black Lady sketch show, and we were being really nice about that show. We weren't saying anything that's like offensive or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
We were praising it or whatever. And I
Yes.
think she had another show about rappers. I forget what it was called though. Something like rap something. I think it was called Rap Shit. I believe. I could be wrong, but yeah, that show got canceled recently, and she like released a statement or whatever, like, oh man, black people are always getting canceled and stuff or whatever. She said, which I don't want to downplay. I mean, like, yeah, black people get screwed over or whatever, but it's still like it's kind of funny seeing black celebrities like speak for the entire black community whenever it's like whenever they get the chance to, like they're like it's like the thing about being black is that we can have $100 million shows even though like kids are getting shot in the streets in fucking Baltimore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just kind of funny. But anyway, she used a statement about that, and then Warner Bros. Discovery was in response to that was like, okay, well we're gonna start a merger with Paramount. So now what's happening on that side is that they're still canceling shows to regain money. Which, by the way, when you cancel shows, you can get I think you can get not a tax refund but a tax break from the government because you're basically saying that like what you did wasn't you didn't gain any profit from it or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. So um, that's how they're getting their money back. Essentially, they're saving money by canceling these shows. Anyway, though, Warner Bros is sowing the red. They decided to partner up with old Paramount. And if you guys know Paramount, Paramount have made a bunch of stuff. They made like South Park. They made like fucking SpongeBob. All those cool things that we like.
Yeah, the reason why people
Um,
hate like Paramount on YouTube is because you can't really do it for a while. I remember early years of YouTube, nobody can make SpongeBob like content or just YouTube poops because
well,
Paramount was
actually,
like, no, yeah, what was going on?
it wasn't Paramount specifically. That was Viacom, which is Paramount's parent.
Okay.
So that's the difference. This is the thing that people need to understand about this is that as Paramount is a step below Viacom. Viacom and Warner Bros are not merging. Paramount, the entertainment, like that studio, is merging with Warner Bros. Discovery.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. It's like they're not. It's not like the whole company is going with them, and so that's why it's kind of a weird thing that Warner Bros. Needs another entertainment division, even though they just merged two of their entertainment divisions already. Like they have enough content to make like stuff for maybe I'd say if they're smart they have a good 50-year plan of content.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like from that merger or whatever, because you're talking about Discovery Channel, which Discovery Channel had a lot of like nature shit or whatever, and it did kind of well. You know what I mean? It wasn't like it was a bad TV company or anything like that. And then Warner Bros. They had like cartoon, like they had so many fucking like shows, like they had like fucking troves of cartoons and live action shows with HBO.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like it's it's a weird it's a weird time. In my opinion, I think murder should stop. I believe and I'm not I would never advocate any violence ever, but I will say it's very weird that people of Warner Bros. Discovery stature are walking around very carefree. It's kind of strange to me,
Like
but
essentially ending people's livelihoods and just saying, "Oh yeah, what are we gonna do?" It's crazy how
what
that
are we gonna do
happened.
for lunch? Are we gonna have salad? Is the salad kosher? Are we having kosher salad?
It was like,
You
oh
know what I
man,
mean?
yeah.
Like, it,
I want salad and these people gone by the end of the day.
I want salad in the blood of writers for dinner. I want the blood of white writers in their 30s. And if I don't have that, I'm going to end the entire fucking industry. You know,
Ab- yeah.
it's strange, right? Like, um, if they didn't just do a merger, maybe I'd be like, okay, them merging isn't like weird. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because like it's easier if everything is under one plate, even though it's more evil. You know what I mean? They get away with more shit when everything's under one place, but it is easier to like get stuff done or whatever. Because all you'd be doing is you just be labeling the shows differently. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be like it wouldn't be like okay, we have to go to this guy and make sure this is approved here or anything. It's like no, it's like if it's all under one umbrella, you know what I mean? All you have to do is just, all right, well, SpongeBob's children. All right, well, fucking, Jackass is fucking adult, or like fucking ridiculousness is like teens or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like easier to manage, really.
Hmm.
Um, but a lot of people have to lose their jobs for that to be that to happen, and a lot of people lost their fucking jobs with the Warner Bros. Discovery thing. We were talking about RDC shows. Shout out RDC. We're talking about the RDC show getting canceled
Hmm.
at Warner Bros. Discovery and how kind of weird that was because I've been following that since like it got announced like in 2021 or
Yeah.
2022
Oh yeah.
or
What's up?
whatever.
Oh yeah. What's up, Sketch? Welcome to the chat.
Yeah, what's up, Sketch? How you doing, man? I can't see the chat. Mason has to tell me if people are in.
Yeah.
Anyway, though, we were talking about RDC, which is like a black sketch group on YouTube or whatever. If you don't know them, fucking look them up, or
Hmm.
whatever. But we're talking about how the RDC show getting canceled was kind of like it was gonna happen, obviously, because they're trying to make an anime. But it's like it was kind of weird because they had a lot of backing. Like they had fucking Issa Rae and Michael B. Jordan or whatever. Like they had some pretty big names behind them to make that show. So it was kind of weird seeing them like get to the top and get immediately kicked off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Not only
But like I
that, they
think
kept their heads down.
they kept their head down for real. Yeah, no, I was yeah. That's what we're talking about. We're
Yeah.
talking about how like they out of all like these TV show guys or whatever, like they really kept their heads down for real. Like they didn't really bring it up too much. It was kind of like you really had to dig deep to find it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And if you dig deep, you could have found it or whatever. But it was like really cool. It was like really cool to see like those guys get an opportunity like that because YouTubers are bad at making TV stuff usually. Like
Unless
it's
you're
very rare that you
unless you're
big.
odd ones out, I guess.
Yeah,
Didn't
unless you're odd ones out and you get 2 seasons of a Netflix show.
two seasons and then get canceled because the well, I saw this one Cartoon Brew article that said like the executives thought he wasn't funny or something like that
Yeah, yeah,
for some
that was
jokes,
good. Yeah,
but
yeah. They called him unfunny,
yeah, but the weird thing.
which like
Mhm. Go ahead.
go on no.
I say like the weird thing about like these mergers is that I look at the when I go on Twitter, I just see nothing but laymen talking about it.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. I just be chilling. You go ahead and chill, sketch. You go ahead and chill. We just be talking. We try to be entertaining out
Hmm.
here. But I
Hell yeah.
keep seeing people talking about how they're waiting for a company to absolutely sink and go under. And at the same time, when I'm looking at all these different financial, like all these LLC or company type bros, they would say stuff like how debt to you and me isn't the same. We don't treat it the same as debt when it comes to other companies. Because with
Yeah.
other companies, when they have debt, that's money that they use to fund more projects so they can make a profit out of their project, so they can make a profit out of their projects and make more money with that debt. But
Yeah. Like
and this is like a
there.
very weird thing too, because when you're seeing like all these mergers piling on top of each other, it it make I don't know what to make of it.
Well, So like, um, I like this type of stuff. I like because like I like writing, right? I like screenwriting and shit. So like I like to keep up with the industry and see how people are falling apart, or people getting money and stuff like that. And it is true, the way that companies use debt and the way that an average person uses debt is completely different.
Hmm.
It is not the same thing. Um, with that being said, it's like that's why a lot of these companies are able to still make these shows and drop like 100 million on these movies or whatever, because they don't use debt the same way. Like they can kind of like the debt they use is like it's like basically these companies are using money the way that money is really supposed to be used, which is supposed to be fantasy numbers. Like it's not supposed to be like real, like things that you take seriously. It's supposed to be like fantasy. It's not supposed to be real. So that's how they use money in Hollywood. Is that it's not real. So we'll just give up what we believe is a good amount, and then we hope to make an imaginary amount of money back. You know what I mean?
And wait
Um,
until like the government bails it out or something like that. I know they bail
exactly.
out
And
bank. It's like
yeah,
it's. I know there's a more like of hierarchy is that they'll bail out the banks more than they will bail out the entertainment industry or
yeah,
any other industry. But I don't know. I know China treats their like entertainment industry more as a branch of propaganda. I remember seeing a video
yeah.
about that when it came to North Korea and their films, how they want to prioritize films because it is a sense of propaganda for the people to walk and talk. But I don't know what the American government use TV and film as propaganda. I don't know. They
Well,
would never.
they tried, but then, then like filmmakers kept being badass. Like that was the whole like Hollywood blacklist. That's where blacklisting came from. Funny enough,
Hmm.
is that back in the 1930s, 40s ish, there was the war going on.
Right.
So the United States military would, hire people from Hollywood to make films, to make cartoons, and make stuff or whatever. But then a lot of these actors would go out and they'd go against the war, and they'd be like, "Yo, the war is gay," and the government's like, "You can't say the war is gay. We're gonna kill you." And the executives that were on payroll at the government, with the government, were making sure these actors were never getting a job again. But the thing about Hollywood is that no matter how fucked up as a human being you are, as long as you're nice, you can probably get a job. Like if you're cool enough, if people can like vouch for you enough, it literally is a popularity contest. If people can vouch for you enough, you can get a job. But if you're blacklisted, it's a little bit harder. So there was like maybe 50 actors, which was like basically all of Hollywood at the time, who were blacklisted for being against the war, and that happened multiple times. It was World War II, the Vietnam War, and I think the Cold War as well. So that's like 40s, 50s, 60s. It's happened like for a 30-year record. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, so with that being said, it's like yeah, the American government can do that, and yeah, like they'll hire directors every once in a while to do like marine ads and shit like that. But it's like they can't do it in the way that they would want to on a China level. Like we'd have to have a lot of concentration camps out here to get that rocking and rolling. Huh.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. And I think it was like when it comes to when it comes to mergers, like you said, that there's a lot of TV shows, a lot of movies, a lot of things that gets delisted, and everybody gets mad for movie. And I think it's kind of weird uh, why people get mad or how legitimate people are mad when it comes to uh, streaming services taking down movies and such,
Yeah.
because
Mm.
it like when you're streaming something, even when you quote unquote buy like something digital, it reminds me of it's very similar to like how Steam handles their digital copies. They say you don't own it. It's more of a you're allowed to access this whenever you want, but this isn't yours. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's the same exact thing. I think that's like the normies way of under their gateway of understanding that you don't own anything when you stream it. And
Yeah. Unless
people,
you have a physical thing in your hand, like you're not. It's not yours. Like you know.
Exactly. And so I know everybody's it's very weird to me because how can they expect to do all of this and not think piracy is going to come directly after? It's most likely
Well,
not because people are very set in their ways. Because
I'm gonna
I
I'm gonna
noticed.
tell you a funny one. I'm gonna tell
Okay,
you
go
a
ahead.
funny one. And this may be a little bit conspiracy level, but I heard the streets were talking. And they said that a lot of these companies, what they've been doing is they've been giving these piracy websites money under the table to leak these movies
Mm-hmm.
because they know that there's like they know that there's rats in these studios. So instead of getting rid of these piracy websites like they've been trying to do for so many fucking years, what they've been doing is that they've been hiring these streaming websites and basically letting them take early copies and release them early on the websites, and they've been taking money from the advertising. So
Hmm.
if you get ads on a streaming site, dude, yeah, you're funding Disney. Sorry, not sorry.
Let me think. Let me think. Let me think. So where do they? So do like? So it's like what Disney's creating their own, or so like Disney's like buying out all of these piracy sites and then running ads on
Essentially,
those.
so what
I'm
they're
trying to
doing is
understand
that
this.
yeah, yeah. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to make sure they are getting money everywhere for the content that they're making because now like we were talking about they're delisting stuff nowadays, so that means they have to make all the content they do have expendable as shit. So what I heard is that a lot of these streaming websites that we know and love, like F movies and 123 movies, all these guys or whatever, they're getting
Man, I
under
should probably censor that, but whatever.
yeah,
It's
fuck it, we're
yeah,
probably
we're
gonna
doing it
just use
live.
yeah, fuck it, we're gonna fuck it, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
like
oh wait, I could probably say this. Like, don't go to those sites.
yeah, yeah.
There we
Don't go
go.
to those sites. But if you do, if you do, you're supporting Disney.
Yeah,
So yeah,
saved
yeah. Essentially, like
allegedly.
any money that F movies or the fuck, sorry, those streaming websites that are really cool that we don't to talk about
Yeah.
are getting are sending the money to Disney. Like you know what I mean? Like Disney are is like taking the money from those sites or whatever.
Hmm.
And I think they're paying people to like keep those sites up. That might be more hearsay, but I believe they're paying them to keep them up. But they're getting the money from the advertising and shit as if they were working off of YouTube or something.
Mm. That's quite the interesting conspiracy
Yeah, it's a
for
very
it.
interesting conspiracy. I believe it. Only reason I believe it is because that would be the only way you could um get maximize profit.
Hmm.
Because if you're talking about if like if like theory wise, right? We're going into theory. If all video is dispensable like that and like can be replaced in literally under a day or hell even under an hour, like how we do on fucking YouTube, like kids will upload a video every fucking hour on the dot nowadays, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So if video is that expendable or whatever, and you have video of certain type of video that you feel can be um maximized to the like if video is so dispensable, right? You have to find a way to maximize profit on every video you make. Now, these Disney shows and shit, they take months on end to produce and edit and do even a first episode. You know what I mean? It takes like a year to do multiple episodes. For a first episode, probably takes like a month or something because of all the special effects and shit. With that being said, you know what I mean? It's probably you're probably not going to get a lot of people watching your shit on Disney Plus all the time. You might get a few people who get onto these special streaming websites to watch these videos because it's easier, it's free. They don't have to pay for anything. They don't have to deal with anything. And if they don't like Disney, they can say they're not supporting Disney. You know what I mean? So it would make sense that you would go underground and be like, listen, dog, I'll give you fucking $5,000 to keep the website up, but you're giving me every single dollar that you get off of the advertising from this and the SEO from this shit. All right, so fucking slide that fucking money over here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Dang.
yeah, if I was Disney, if I was Warner Bros. Discovery and Paramount here, that's what I do. You know?
Uh-huh. I absolutely get you. Absolutely get you. So I guess I guess they didn't even know that piracy is a very lucrative business in a sense.
Yeah, well, it's piracy is streaming, but nobody big is getting money.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they hate it so much. It's like it's not like they hate it because they are not. It's not like they hate it because it's not like they hate it because like oh man, you guys are giving people viruses and stuff. This is unsafe. This is unsafe or whatever. It's like no, dude. It's like bootlegging was a thing back in the day, and they're trying to crack down on that. Why do you think all these videos had those fucking like FBI like oh you're gonna get fined fucking like $500,000 for this copy of Aladdin 2 direct to video? Like you know what I mean? Like it's like very they don't want that amount of money they spend on these videos to be squandered. They want to maximize profit at
Mm.
all times, and they have to think big now. Like they can't crack down on bootlegging like they used to be able to. You know what I mean? Because in streaming, again, no one owns anything. I'm sorry, like you have like the reason why Disney and these companies own this product and shit is because they have probably physical documents that prove that they own it. But
Right.
you don't have that when you fucking buy a fucking Dragon Ball Z Broly on fucking Crunchyroll. Like you don't have
Oh my
that.
gosh, I remember. I remember when the Broly movie. I remember a 720p rip was direct uploaded directly on YouTube for like the first hour of it being like
Exactly.
released. It was hilarious. It was insane.
Exactly. Because no one they can't physically grab it, so they don't physically fucking own it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's easier to rip. You can rip and do whatever the fuck you want with this shit because it's all imaginary. It's not. It's all. It's not physical. It's all virtual. So you can basically do whatever you want with it, and that's why you see these companies are trying to sue these people and trying to get to the bottom of this and try to crack down on this shit because they're trying to make something that isn't real real. It's like what I was saying before about the money being imaginary. It's like, yeah, this money is imaginary. It's not fucking real. So we can do whatever the fuck we want with it or whatever until we want it to be real. So until we want our bucks in our hands or whatever, this shit we can do whatever the fuck we want with it. Yeah, sure, we can spend a fucking $1 billion on this movie. Why the fuck not? Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Oh
very
my gosh.
it's very crazy. It's a very crazy world we live in.
And it really goes back to the conversation that we had like a couple, I don't even know how long ago, it was probably months ago, of how a lot of these big companies are spending too much on their projects where they
Oh my
really don't
god.
need to.
Yeah. Oh my god,
But
dude.
and that
What was
goes
that
like
one
with
we were
video
looking
games
at?
and movies as well.
What the fuck were we talking? There was this one thing that made us go into this thing. I forget what it was.
I remember it was like a
I
tweet. It was like a tweet that said like Spider-Man 2 it had the budget of like over like 100 million,
yeah, like
like
a
50
fucking like
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 50 million dollars or like $100 million like for a
yeah
video game.
like a fucking GDP of like Nigeria or something. Like
Yeah,
bro, I
like
was like, what the fuck are you guys doing here? Like I was like, Spider-Man 2 does not need to be that expensive. I'm
like
sorry.
it's a
I don't
20
give a fuck how much stuff they add to it. It's not does not need to be that expensive.
it's
I'm
like a
sorry.
20-hour movie.
It's a 20-hour movie, exactly. So you're telling me for a 20-hour movie, with the way that 3D is done nowadays, and how powerful Blender and shit is, you need to spend fucking $150 million on that shit? Yeah, no, sorry, bro. Sorry, nope,
Yeah,
I don't believe you.
yeah, and I
You
think
know,
like do you think all these mergers are going to be a problem when it comes to um how do I say this? When it comes to like making like budgeting future films or making future projects.
yes, yes, and I was. This is why because I keep using the imaginary money thing, mostly at halfway as a joke, but halfway that's how they treat money is that
Okay,
it is imaginary and they can make up budgets
I'm sorry.
out of nowhere. Huh?
All right, can we make a break for this? Take a break for this emergency break for this broadcast. We can hold that thought real quick.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Where did that thing go?
What happened to the stream stop?
No, there's something I need to figure out real quick.
All right, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, man. Well, for early what should we call it? Early technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties over here.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
technical difficulties. All right, back to the
We're back
show.
on.
Yeah, we're back on.
All right. No. Well, I was saying something about money being imaginary to them.
Yeah,
So I do think I do think reality is going to hit these companies in the head when these mergers come, because since they're losing so much money, like it's going to become less imaginary over time, which is good. Like we do need to have a certain level of like limit of like, oh dog, like no, maybe this doesn't need $100 billion. You know what I mean? Like
hmm
maybe this needs only this amount or whatever. So with that being said, I do believe at some point these mergers are going to make these movies either. Well, here's what I think. Here's my headcanon. It's either going to go way far in one direction or the other direction. Either it's going to get like movies are going to get cheaper, or they're going to get way more expensive because um the way that these movies make money nowadays, like every movie has to be a buster. Like it has to be a blockbuster. Like even the comedy movies have to make $100 billion. Like you know what I mean?
hmm
And these movies keep breaking records. Like it keeps happening. So if Warner Bros. if Warner Bros. Merges with Paramount and somehow, some way, they go on a like 5 movie run of like making their money back tenfold. All they're gonna do from that point forward is they're just gonna keep doing that. And they're gonna keep doing that and keep doing that and keep doing that until they run into another situation like this and they have to merge again or do something where they have to get money again. It These are they're they're crafty, but they're not. Like they're crafty in a dumb way. Where like if they can hit a jackpot, they're gonna keep chasing that jackpot over and over again. Like they don't understand that they can make maybe smaller scale shows and get smaller scale money to contribute to their overall profit line. You know what I mean?
hmm
It's weird, but that's kind of how they function. Is that they don't function in well, they used to back in the day. They used to back in the day. You could make a small family show or whatever, and it can run for like 10 seasons, and you wouldn't know because it has a devoted fan base to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, back
So
in
it's
the
like,
like, cause like the
yeah,
production was so little and they didn't need as much to sustain it.
exactly. And there'd be a devoted fan base, and the devoted fan base will pay every single time. You know what I mean? It would be like I'm trying to think of a show, I guess. Like even like old cartoon, like Adult Swim is a perfect example. Adult Swim was not the biggest fucking channel on earth. Like no one was fucking watching Adult Swim all the time, but but like devoted enough people watching Adult Swim, and that's how what kept Adult Swim going. Like that's how we had fucking Aqua Teen Hunger Force and all these shows going on or whatever. You know what I mean?
hmm
And that's not how that works anymore. Um, they want to do new things, but they want to do new things that look like the old stuff so that people are more familiar with what they're watching. And with that being said, it's like the budgets the budgets are probably going to either swing one way or the other. Like I can't see them doing anything smart, at least. That to answer your question. I can't see them doing anything smart.
Mm. I feel that. I feel that. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I think this is a pretty good place to stop at good stopping point for the stream. We
Oh wait,
can
I
yeah.
had one more thing I wanted to talk about.
What's going on?
This is kind of off topic, on topic, but um, we don't we talk. I don't think we talk about cancel culture that much, which is good. But
Okay,
like I
yeah,
remember, you know who Shane Gillis is, right?
yeah. Shane Gillis, talk about him.
Yeah. No, he's like a great stand-up comedian. Did you know he's hosting SNL
Yeah, I think I
next week?
saw like something that you showed on a on your Instagram.
Yeah,
Well,
he's
he's like
hosting
doing a thing
SNL
with
with
21
21
Savage or
Savage.
something. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, they tried to cancel him recently. He dropped an N bomb, which was funny. But everyone kind of
Shane
like,
Gillis.
he dropped an N bomb.
Oh man,
Uh,
no,
it,
he met 21 Savage. He's never gonna fail.
yeah, yeah. I don't know if he's gonna fail anytime soon, but it was making me laugh thinking about that because, like, thinking about like how that dude basically got his life ruined and becoming the most racist guy on earth. And then like now they're inviting him back as if they didn't like ruin his life on purpose. It is kind of like a bit dystopian in a way, where she's like, "Oh, we'll ruin your life, but you're also like, we'll make you our best friend whenever we want." Like, you know what I mean? It's almost like like a K through 5, you know what I mean, elementary school or whatever. It's like, yeah,
Hmm.
you can't play with us until you can, and when we let you play with us, then like you know what I mean, then you can play with us. It was like you can only play with us when we let you kind of thing. And it was like that just made me laugh really hard, and I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like the whole industry side of thing, like the interpersonal industry side of things, is so weird. How everybody like works in this ecosystem and they all equally hate each other.
Yeah, yeah. Even with comedy, like comedy specific, like stand up comedy. Like I'm in stand up comedy, right?
Uh huh.
And it is sort of like that. Like it is very much like people will screw you over to get like gigs or whatever, and they don't care. Like they would rather watch you die for real. And it's like very like cutthroat in that sense. But also there's this other side of it of like if you can find a group of people or whatever that are like cool that you can like really fuck with or whatever, it's like that's cool and like you can have a good time. But like you can't you like those people same people can also screw you over at any point, like and at any point. And it's like I like using Shane Gillis as an example because everybody was like fuck this guy, like everybody was like oh this guy's fucking sucks and gay or whatever, he's racist or whatever. And like all those SNL guys did the same thing but I remember he was talking about it on like a thing or whatever. He talked about how like he like went back to SNL like in 2022 or whatever, and like all of them were like, "Hey man, how you doing, man? Oh dude, like that was really funny what you did last night, or man, I saw your set or whatever." And it was like very much like that thing where it's like, "Whoa, dude, like dude, you guys were calling for my head a couple of weird years ago. What happened to that?" You know. But yeah, like, that's how the comedy industry. That's how Hollywood is in general, and it's like at the end of the day, um, this shit is just like very cutthroat. You gotta be careful, I guess.
Yeah, you gotta protect your neck.
Protect your neck like anything, but you know what I mean.
uh,
You gotta protect yourself, man.
Absolutely, and like the whole thing about, I feel like it's a whole thing with cancel culture is that it really doesn't exist. It only has power when you say it has power, and only if you have to, if you feel like you need to survive by other people, by like people who actually care about it, if that makes
That's
sense.
true.
Like if you're going to associate yourself with people that heavily cares about the opinions of people who most likely aren't a part of the culture of the content that you're creating, that's that's very interesting to me. That's a very
Well,
interesting thing to me.
also like being in that position where a million people are telling you to apologize, or being in a position where a million people are like hate you.
Hmm.
It's you're always gonna like you're gonna crumble at first. Like it's gonna make you uncomfortable because like we're social creatures. Like humans are social creatures. Like being on the chopping block is very it's not a good feeling.
Right.
Like you know what I mean? Even like a group of like 10 people being like, "Oh, fuck you." Like it doesn't feel good. Like you know what I mean?
Hmm.
You have to be kind of psycho to be like, "Oh, I can handle that first." Like you know what I mean? Like so it was kind of like brave for I like for him specifically to be like, all right, I'm not apologizing or whatever. And like even cancel culture, and you're right, like cancel culture isn't real, but it's real to whoever it's happening to. Like you know what I mean?
Right.
People be like, fuck you. Like, that's real to them.
Oh yeah,
You
I
know?
mean, yeah, true. And then you have like all those death threats, even though all those death threats aren't real and will not happen. It's like an MK. What was it? I keep saying MK Ultra. Like I like I forget. It doesn't mean anything anymore. But it's very much like a psychological tactic.
Yeah,
That's
it's psyop. It's
yeah,
psyop.
it's just a psyop to like
Yeah,
get.
it's psyop to convince you that you're under attack and you're under pressure and you are you are going like it fucks with your survival, like the survivor part of your brain, because like now you have to like, oh, what's gonna happen to me, what is about to happen to me, like what do I do, you know?
Yeah,
um
it's really interesting. It yeah, that really makes me think of back in the times when you would hear celebrities every time that a celebrity would be on a news show or talking about the backlash that they get. Usually, out like the first thing that you usually hear from them, or like the third thing on a list of things that happens, are the myriad of death threats that they would get. And death threats aren't new. It happened
yeah.
like yeah, it's absolutely not new, especially in the before the age of the internet. But
Oh, for
it's
sure. Yeah, people were sending letters, like
yeah, letter like
they're like, dear.
I
Like,
feel like
dear
getting
Oprah.
I feel like getting sent a letter, like a death threat via letter, was more threatening than getting
No,
it through
because they had
email.
your fucking address.
Yeah, like, like,
Dude, like people were like sending like celebrity like girls for like being bad in movies, like death threats.
yeah,
Like
it's
fucking like, dear Jodie Foster, I'm gonna kill you tomorrow. Like
yeah, I know. I,
Jesus.
I mean, most likely it was like being sent to a PO box if they're smart, but like
Right.
it'd be
But
wild.
no, but
Yeah,
like at the time, like old Hollywood, it was like if you were a little bit crafty, you could find like people fucking were in like the yellow books, man. Like you know
hmm
what I mean? Yellow pages and shit. So it's like like a lot of times people had PO boxes and usually would go to the studio set. But even then, that's still scary because they have where you usually go. Like you know what I mean? Like you
yeah.
know what I mean? Like a place that you frequent. You're like, oh fuck,
That kind
like
of reminds me
oh
of like when I
fuck,
was like
man.
listening to something with Ben Shapiro or something. They said that he constantly has security in his in his studios and such.
I
And
I think he's kind of a pussy for that. That he like oh, I'm gonna be real. All right, listen. Like I'm like the more liberal guys, I kind of get being pussies or whatever. But if you're like the conservative guy that's like, oh man, fuck all how you feel.
it's
Like
like
I need you
yeah,
to be a little bit badass.
like not
Like you know,
at least carry like a strap on you at all
yeah.
times.
At least like act like bro. You gotta act like a fucking like '90s black gangster, bro. Like you gotta have this shit on. Like you gotta have it on you at all times. That shit. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like you can't be walking around here with security and stuff. Like what are you fucking gay? What are you? What are you a gay guy for wanting to be safe? You know?
Man. But
Uh,
hey, like I don't know. I guess owning the libs comes with a price.
owning a website doesn't come with the price, but I think that if you're gonna be the tough guy, be tough. Like don't start doing all this you know what I mean, cowing and shit. And that's what I really hate about the conservative guys. Is I don't hate the fact that they speak their mind. I kind of like I think that is what it is. You know what I
hmm
mean? Like I think we should be able to speak our minds even if it's stupid because you know be you should want stupid thoughts because you want to debunk those thoughts. Like you want to have solidified in stone that if someone's saying something stupid, you have it in stone that's stupid. You know what I mean? So if you have that idea, you just know it's stupid.
hmm
You know it's wrong. Whatever. So I don't really hate conservative dudes a lot like a lot of people hate conservative dudes. Um, but like I don't like how fucking lame they are. Like they're fucking like lame as hell. They're like fucking like oh man, like you guys are sending me death threats and stuff like that. It's like no, dude, stand on business. Like you were just talking about how much AOC is gay or whatever, like how much she should die, and then all of a sudden you're like fucking like oh man, you guys are being mean to me. All these liberals are fucking dangerous and shit. You know, like the liberals have always been like pussies. Like it's never not. been that.
Yeah,
You
they're
know?
like usually liberals are the people that's like anti-gun, so it makes sense that they have like security in the
Yeah, it
top
makes sense that, but like,
in a
they've
way.
always been fear mongering.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And I'm not political on any, like, I'm really not
we're
that
just some black guys,
political.
and
Yeah,
not like
we're
internet,
we're
not
just,
internet black guys, like actual just.
yeah, we're literally just regular black
We're
people.
just
Like,
regular
literally,
black people.
we're not even internet black people. Like, we're regular black people.
We're not.
So
We're
like,
not. We're not like internet black socialists.
no,
Just
fuck
black
that.
people.
Yeah, we're actually like running the mill
We're
black
real
people.
black people. We don't even know our heritage.
But it is hard to come by real black people nowadays. You get fucking
On
all
the
these
internet.
fucking
On the
on
internet.
the internet at least. Yeah, on the internet at least. Like, I feel like with I guess changing topic, but like, I feel like black people on the internet, you really only get two types. You either get the black socialite types who are just like always like waving their finger at white people, or you get the black fucking conservative guys that are just like, oh man,
Yeah, they
like,
watch one Thomas Sowell video and they're like, "Yo,
yeah, exactly,
this
yeah, they're like, oh man,
this
LLCs,
nigga
LLCs.
spitting."
You like
Black
really
people
get
do be
regular,
wildin' though. Yeah.
you really just get the regular black dude. Because regular black people are not that political, dude. I hate this new thing that like black people are just supposed to be like liberal or like fucking like, you know what I mean, or like political in general or whatever, or Democrat or whatever. Like, no, regular black people are as apolitical as white people are. That's really how it is. Like, it's not as like normal black people don't really give a fuck about this shit as much, you know.
Hmm.
And I really hate that fucking shit. So it's like, yeah, it's like me speaking from my perspective. I'm truly just a regular black dude. I have no horse in the race in that sense or whatever. I try to stay educated where I can, but like at the end of the day, it's all bullshit. At the end of the day, so it's like, you know, I try to stay educated on what I feel is the least amount of bullshit.
I
You
mean,
know?
I feel like this is still on topic with the topic of the live stream right now, because it's at the end of the day, the one thing that I absolutely hate about this, it's that it's all entertainment. it's
Yeah,
it's
it's
like,
all a circus. It's
yeah,
nothing.
it's I
It's
think
like
the
it's literally nothing.
I
Like,
like
it's not even like there's no value to it at all.
it's like you get the new you get your you stream your cartoons where you stream your news, and then when you stream the same way place you stream your history channels, and it all gets blended into like like it's like putting like a fistful of Skittles in your mouth, and it doesn't, you don't taste like the individual Skittles, you just taste like sugar, a big sugar bomb.
Exactly. Perfect example. You're just
It's
getting like literally just like
you
like
just,
fucking force fed.
yeah.
Garbage.
Force feeding yourself like sour Skittles because we're black, because we could say because
Yeah, we can say that. We're
you can
allowed
say
to
that.
say this is an ice cream style Skittles. That's our favorite.
Yeah, it's just like fisted in your mouth, and like it's gross. It's I don't I think when I don't know. I think when people at least be honest with themselves and realize I don't know and I don't care. I think the world will be a lot better when people get comfortable in saying, I think a lot of people are saying I don't care with a lot of things. But it's just one side that would take that I don't care in the sense of you're being violent, or it's either you're being violent for not taking a stance, or you're being the opposite of it.
Right.
If you know what I mean. I'm trying to find the right words, but like it's not clicking as fast as I want it to be.
Yeah. No, I understand exactly what you're saying. Like, that idea of like silence is violence. Like, you know what I mean? Or if you don't know, you should know. You should know exactly what we're talking about.
Oh my
all the
gosh,
time.
that reminds me of a video that I saw on Twitter. It was like a clip of Johnny Bravo, and he was like walking through this one women's museum, and the tour guide was like, "Oh, this pen did da 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 da. It repealed the amendment, the 19th Amendment, that allow, and now women can vote." And Johnny Bravo was like, "Why would they do that?" And everybody was like looking at him all pissed off, and he was like trying to explain. It was like, "I thought women didn't like voting," which is like it's like I don't like
Which
what is
is funny.
like yeah. It's like why would people want to vote? Like that's boring. Like
I thought
and
women didn't like voting.
it was like I thought people didn't like voting. It's like when people just don't care when you're just asking questions. It's automatically assumed that, oh, you want the worst. You're not part of my team.
Yeah, and I think that's why, like, if you want to get to the root of the issue, that's why Trump won in 2016. Like, and I think that's where all this shit started from. The merger we're talking about, from all the shit we're talking about this stream, it started from 2016 when Trump won, because that's when people realized, like, oh, this shit is really, like, not real. Like, all this shit is fucked. You know what I mean? And the
Yeah.
reason why he won was because Hillary was so, like,
Weird.
unpopular. Like, she was so weird. She was, like, very much like she was like what fucking Democrats are now. And, like, Democrats now are, like, I feel like Democrats back in the day were not this, like, mean.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
I think they were more honest in a
They were
way.
more honest, but they weren't this, like, aggressive, you know? Like,
Yeah.
now, ever since Trump won, they're so aggressive with everything. Like, they're just like, oh, if you don't vote, oh, you're not even black if you don't vote for Biden. You know what I mean? Remember that? Like,
Yeah.
bro, like, that shit is fucking nuts. And it's like they speak of these Republican politicians with such vitriol, and, like, as if, like, you know, they're Satan themselves, when it's just like, it's like, dude, you have fucking, like you guys have the Clintons. Like, you can't get more evil than that. Like, come on, dog.
It's very interesting. It's very weird. What would be the answer to all of this?
Um, Merging with Paramount, actually.
Yeah, I think everybody should
Yeah.
be. Actually, no, I think everybody should be under Disney, because they.
Yeah, you know what? I was thinking about that today. I really feel like if we were all under Disney, we'd never have any problems anymore.
Yeah.
That's just me.
You know what? I think Disney had a point really back when he was alive, when he was like landscaping Florida to make Disneyland. He wanted to have his own commune of like workers, people who would like live in Disney. They would work at the Disney parks and they would only get paid through Disney bucks or whatever. And they would have like homes.
You know what? Yeah, you know what? Walt Disney had a lot of points. Like,
yeah.
whenever he went into Judaism and stuff like that, he really did have a lot of good points. And I feel like
Oh man. Yeah, it's
man,
like.
can you stand off a stream midstream? Like, is that possible?
Oh no, we're not big enough for that, so don't worry about it.
Good, cool.
Like,
Right, well,
even then, we could probably.
When I go for SNL, you guys pick this up.
Oh man. Man, do you want your name on the thing for future preference? I don't know. I don't know. People will just like look at it. If I ever become like a lolcow in the future, I'm pretty sure people are gonna look at it and be like, oh yeah, I recognize his voice.
yeah, for sure. I mean, like, I don't care. I don't really care either way. You could just use my username usually, but like, I don't care if you use my real name at this point, because my username and my real name is kind of like mixed and muddled because of the way we do the comic, you know.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. Oh yeah, speaking of the comic, go read Just the Reaper.
Yeah, we uploaded the second chapter. It is currently going through Amazon on the ebook thing. I have to do some editing for the paperback, but it's on Amazon. It's on our Reddit. It's on our Substack. Go to our Substack if you want updates on our newsletter and shit. Go to Mason's website, masonimus.com, if you want any content from him. Mason's a fucking fantastic worker. So yeah, always go on his website for his stuff. But Just Reaper's on Substack, Amazon, Reddit. We have a Reddit and stuff. And yeah, man, like, we're really working hard on Just Reaper. What is it? We're halfway through. We're halfway through it.
Yeah, man. Freaking. What would Just Reaper characters react to the all these mergers, for the people to get people into it?
I think all those characters don't care about, like, they probably like, what is Warner Bros? Like, oh, that Looney Tunes?
Yeah,
like, oh, Looney Tunes? Yeah, all right.
Yeah, Greg would probably be like, oh man, they probably should have warned a brother. Am I right, guys?
Should have warned a brother, yeah. So Greg like, what the fuck them niggas doing?
Yeah.
That's what Greg would say, and that's also what T would say.
Yeah.
wasn't that a Sam Hyde tweet or whatever?
Oh, what?
Fish tank or whatever. Like I forget what they were doing or whatever. But just out of nowhere, I just saw that tweet on my timeline that just said, "Fuck this nigga doing." It made me laugh really hard.
Oh
Oh
man.
man.
But yeah, I thank you, Matt, for coming on. Matt plugged everything that I needed to talk about,
Dude, I
and
love doing this stuff with you, man. It's
yeah,
always fun.
you really don't know what you're gonna get when it comes
Yeah.
to. I literally was like, "Yo,
Right.
yeah," I was like, "Yo, Matt, I'm doing this like in an hour. I had this idea and I want it done in an hour. Like, you want to, you win?
You win or you out, and I'm like, "Yep, let's go."
Yeah.
Yeah, and then immediately I ruin our careers. And,
Oh
and
yeah.
then you know what's funny? It's always me who does it. Is what I'm realizing. It's like every once in a while we'll like record a thing, and I'll like I don't know where I'll just be like, so like, how do you feel about Jewish people? And then just like immediately just off the rails, and we just it's funny.
I mean,
Whenever
like,
we do
I
the
mean, I haven't
show,
gotten in trouble for it yet, so like.
don't worry, don't just you wait. 10 years later, we're gonna end fucking huge trouble. But
Oh
no, it
man.
was like I remember when we used to do the podcast, we'd like be like, okay, we're gonna talk about these topics, and immediately we just went off on a whole different thing, and we record like hours of us talking about nothing.
I keep remembering. I keep remembering. There was this one thing that I learned in psychology that men they usually switch topics a lot faster than women. So
Yeah,
like if you're gonna have a podcast or whatever, I don't even know what this is. This is more like a more like a just talking podcast slash art stream because I'm just
yeah,
drawing in the middle of everything.
yeah.
Uh,
It's like a talk show
it's
almost.
like a talk show, but like people looking at it through Twitch or YouTube that can still be entertained by the art
Hell yeah!
and I don't have to think that much about making new art. I'm just tracing the sketches.
And they can
And
listen to me babble.
what?
They can listen to me ramble and babble about stuff.
Yeah, and I was like I said earlier. If there's people in the chat, we'll answer some Q&As. If nobody's here, then we'll just have the hour. We'll have the stream in an hour, and after that, I'm gonna stream for another hour in the in my Discord server. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, so like people can like check it out on my check it out in the description below. So that's the plan. That's what we doing.
Yeah, and like I always like doing stuff with Mason. I always like doing talking with Mason, especially on stream and stuff. It's a different energies than our normal calls. You know what I mean? Our normal calls are just kind of like, oh man, like how's your day? How's your day, dude? Whenever we're on a stream, we just have a different type of energy because you're entertaining people, so you just gotta be you gotta be more hype. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You gotta have more energy and shit. And it's always fun. I love working with Just Reaper with Just Reaper with you. We're almost done with it, which is fucking
Almost done with it.
everything I asked for.
Yeah, like
Dude, we have
halfway
two
done.
chapters finished. Like actually done. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, like yeah, I'll see. Like right now, I just finished thumbnailing. Well, earlier today, I just finished thumbnailing chapter 2 of Purgatory Academy, and right
Fuck
now
yeah.
for like on my backlog slot. I guess people who are just listening, they don't know about it, but this is like the tail end of the podcast, so this is more like the podcast is essentially over. There's like the beginning.
Yeah, we're just talking shit at this
Yeah,
point.
like so it's like 5 minutes of just rambling. Like then the centers the meat and potatoes, and the last 5 minutes is just gonna be like the other rambling. It's like the stuff that people who want to listen to just to cap off that hour long slot that I'm trying to go for. Not for any
Fuck yeah.
particular reason, because I guess I'm just OCD like that. But I wanted to yeah, for my I wanted to like go after I finish chapter 2 of Purgatory Academy. I'm going to finish the other part, the other half of chapter 3 of Just a Reaper. And I don't know if I'm
Yeah.
going to stream that because I think that takes up more of my mental energy to like make something new than to refine something. So that's why
Yeah.
I'm choosing to line art while I talk
Right.
over just over just like sketching.
Yeah, and But Just Reaper goes through a lot of like drafts and notes and shit. So it's like it's a little bit different than because like with Parks Drake Academy shit, it's just you doing your stuff.
Yeah.
But Just Reaper is kind of like me and you. So it's like sending it back and forth and doing edits and stuff like that it takes a little bit more energy. I'd assume.
Yeah, so anybody's listening to this and never get in, who's ever this far, leave a comment saying that you got this far and tell me if you want to see more or if you want another guest on, if you want like I don't know,
Yeah,
like
if you want me gone,
yeah, if you want another guest on, you want Matt gone, you want to see more of Matt, because.
You want no black people on the stream?
Yeah, you want me to be replaced on my own channel, like sell it to Vi. You want me to
Whiteface.
You want me to sell my channel to Paramount Plus? Let me know.
What up, merge with Paramount?
The Masonymous merge with Paramount. Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. Would you merge with Paramount, baby?
No, I'm gonna get like they're gonna put it in the vault and it'll never see the light of day.
They're gonna listen to this podcast and be like, "What did they have against Jewish people?"
Yeah, I'm gonna take a trip to Jerusalem and kiss the wall.
Oh
I'm gonna have Ben Shapiro as my own little handler.
Yeah, Ben Shapiro's gonna be whipping you like a slave.
Yeah, just like the transatlantic slave trade.
Yeah, exactly. Hey,
yeah, we're going back.
Yeah. Happy Black History Month.
Yeah, happy Black. Oh yeah.
We didn't even talk about that, but yeah. Black History. What are you doing for Black History Month, Mason?
I'm gonna for Black History Month, I'm going to increase the price of all of my comics that features black people on them for twice the amount. I'm going to elevate black words, making them more cost more than their other racial counterparts. Because all for the month of February, my gift to the black community.
That is perfect. I was just gonna go beat up white people, but
hey, cool.
Their own.
I disavow.
I disagree, kind of.
I disagree. I Surfshark. I need that sponsorship.
Oh man, you need that Blue Chew sponsorship, bro.
I believe in the product. I would never sell you guys anything I don't believe in.
I believe in Blue Chew. And there's one thing I believe in, it's fucking Blue Chew.
Like I
pulled.
pulled.
22-year-old, I need a Blue Chew. Oh my god, dude. Oh, shit was going off the rails. Bro.
Oh my gosh.
I like when we do streams and stuff this way. Like I don't hate when we do more structured stuff, and we have done more structured stuff. But like I love when we just do this, because I think there's not enough of this on the internet. I think it's just a lot more, like it's very corporate. Even like podcasting nowadays is corporate as shit. Like all that shit is so corporate, like YouTube and all that stuff. And I miss that there was like abundance of stuff like this, where it was just guys just going back and forth making stupid jokes about nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just being wrong. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I feel like I was wrong like every time I was like talking about the merger. You know?
I don't think I've said a correct thing this entire stream.
We are just guys.
Yeah, we're just dude. We're like you said, we're regular run-of-the-mill black people. Like we're not any sort of special thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I like that, and I think like we should really keep going with that shit, man. Like I think people really are attracted to this type of shit.
Yeah.
You know.
So, but that being said, go buy our black comics.
Go buy our black comics. It's Black History Month if you don't, you're racist.
If you don't, yeah. This is a support Black Wall Street or something. I don't know.
Yeah. We're Black Wall Street. That's it.
Only us.
Black Wall Street are two black people from North Carolina.
I am Wall and Matt is Street.
Wait, who's black?
Connor's black.
Connor is black. Our white French.